There is a famous story often told about Harry Houdini, the master magician whose proudest claim was that he could escape from anything. Well, during a tour of Scotland, Houdini agreed to be locked up in the strongest jail cell available, boasting that he would escape from it. The magician was searched, his hands placed in steel handcuffs, and he was chained to a bench inside the jail cell. The jailer shut the cell door and walked away, confident that Houdini would never escape. Left alone, Houdini quickly shed himself of the handcuffs and the chain that bound him to the bench. He then went to work on the cell door. He tried every trick in the book to pick the lock, to do whatever he could to try to jimmy the lock open. After an hour, he was dripping with sweat, apparently defeated, totally discouraged, and near exhaustion. Houdini accidentally leaned against the door and it swung open easily, sending him tumbling into the corridor. The jailer had forgotten to lock the door. Now, how often have we had a Houdini moment? We are so damn smart, so expert, that we often overlook the obvious. We were recently vetting a new entry-level marketing manager for our A-team. And one of the steps in the hiring process is for them to vet something that we are already doing and suggest how it could be better from a marketing perspective to test their actual marketing acumen. Well, her report pointed out a half dozen crazy obvious things we weren't doing and a half dozen more crazy obvious amateur mistakes that we had made on this particular page and process. When I got her report, I was embarrassed, almost downright ashamed. I teach this stuff. This is one of my vital functions and unique superpowers. But in the scramble to get it all done, this page had just been put up and not really considered for the obvious. We hired her, and my instruction to her was simple. I want you to comb through everything we have and see where we are not doing the obvious and or making obvious mistakes. And I want you to prevent that from happening from this point forward. So often, we are too close to our own trees, to our own art, that we lose perspective, and we then lose sight of the obvious. It either takes someone else bringing it up outside of yourself, outside of your team, to assess the obvious, or it takes you stepping outside of yourself and out of your day-to-day processes and doing a thorough assessment of the obvious. Think of it this way. If you were hired to consult with your business, and you looked at everything you do and how things are done and your financials, what advice would you give to you and your business? On a personal level, think of it this way. If you were hired to be your life coach and you looked at everything you do and how you eat and how much you do or don't move your body and how you interact with your coworkers and your spouse and your kids and your friends and how you show up and walk and talk and shake hands and what you talk about with others, what coaching would you give yourself? So don't pull a Houdini. Check the door handle on everything that you do. Tell us in the comments below, in what area of your life or your business are you going to do an obvious review and assessment? Tell us that below.